Well, once again, hello everyone. Today is October 10th, 2025. This research methods meeting, the first one of this academic year. There is a reason why I am doing this hybrid, and that will be clear in a moment. The main agenda item in today's meeting is really a meet and greet. There are a number of us here at Carleton in a meeting room, and then there are quite a number of you in Zoom. Once again, very happy to seeing you. And the timing is probably not the best for many people here in Ottawa. The fact is that it is just the Friday afternoon before a 3-day long weekend, and I see people from overseas like Ismail in Qatar, Parisa in Iran, and Tohidur in Brest, France. So it's already evening or at night. Let us see how much we can proceed in about an hour. And if some of you have to leave or disconnect, please feel free to do so. No issues. I'm already very grateful that you are here today. And Ismail, very nice seeing you again. Hello and ahlan wa sahlan. Um, there are before we go to the meet and greet, actually, I will ask everyone to introduce herself or himself, let us say in 2 minutes to make it short and sweet. I have a couple of quick remarks, and let me do that in the following way. I didn't prepare any presentation, but I am sharing my website, and I guess, yeah, it is there. Most of my website, I make an effort to make it rather up to date, and it should act as a resource to all of you who would like to use this resource. First and foremost, publications. This bullet is important. Actually, the one which is not up to date, one of them is these seminars, and I plan to do the update this weekend. And I will go through some of these bullets and kind of introduce them to you, mainly the publications one. But even before that, if I can claim some success in my academic career, that is in part due to flexibility. I always say this to my team members. There is really no one way of doing things. People sometimes get very frustrated when things don't unfold in a way that is, outside the comfort zone of the individual. But we should make an effort and just try to adapt to the situation if we cannot change it the way we want. So at Carleton, or in Canada in general, we have a new situation which impacted us, our group, negatively. And therefore, I am now making a kind of an important change. And that situation is the current situation with international students. As you know, not only in my group or Carleton University or in Canada, in many developed countries, Canada, US, UK, first and foremost, when you go to science and engineering, most of the research students in master's and PhD programs are international students. There are many reasons for that, but let us leave those aside. And now I'm looking at this room. I guess overwhelming majority are, again, international students, and again, this is the case everywhere. But then in Canada, again, due to various reasons, the Ontario government put now a cap on international students. Basically, anyone coming to Canada for studying, it is a struggle to get visa. To make the situation even more complicated, once again, not only in my group, but throughout North America, two very important pools of students when it comes to science and engineering have been China and Iran. In particular, for those two countries, there are further complications. At the very least, visa process is taking a very long time, and what is making the planning more difficult is that it is pretty much like a black hole. Like if we know that from China it takes 8 months to get visa, then somehow you do the planning. This personnel will be coming not next semester, but the semester after, things of that sort. Pretty much now applications are made, so there is no official ban, but no replies are being received. Therefore, in the last 2 years, the number of students that I gave offer just couldn't come, and then they had to pursue other opportunities, obviously. So due to circumstances, I am exploring student pools in other jurisdictions, including Turkey, which is kind of a low-hanging fruit for me because of my own background. But more importantly, in the context of this discussion, more international collaborations in a kind of strategic way and more meetings and so on. I very much prefer to have our research meetings in person, but to engage more and more our international partners, I will try hybrid or just virtual meetings this semester and later on. Once again, the main objective today is a little bit of an introduction and meet and greet. So I am determined not to make this unfavorable situation of having difficulty in visa to be a bottleneck for us. Most groups are not impacted because activities are in a kind of local and small manner. Our group is one of the world's leading groups in wireless communications and networking. To stay competitive, we have to find ways to move forward, or we shouldn't allow barriers or bottlenecks. Now, another thing which is important in the group is that, as you see here, research interest. Our group I consider that as a professional research group. We do pretty much anything and everything in connectivity-related technologies, wireless or wired, entire protocol stack, all applications, theoretical, applied, so on and so forth. And funding is very important. If there is a funding opportunity, even in an area that I may not feel qualified in many sense, I may still decide to pursue and then put together a team, very much like a professional research group. Having said that, over the years, it became more and more apparent to me that some sort of a branding or focus for outside will have its own advantage. And long story short, for over a year in our publications, we started using the term Non-Terrestrial Networks Lab. And in June, we formalized this by establishing a LinkedIn page, and now I am using it in my signature as well, and in my presentations, and also team members are using a logo. You remember that we had a logo contest. I thank everyone who contributed. Whose logo was chosen? Was it Cosmos and Jintao? I think I forgot. Yeah, well, again, thank you very much, gentlemen. That was very nice. And I would like to take that to next step. And basically, with a number of professors, we are in the process of applying to the Faculty of Engineering at Carleton University to morph this lab into what they call, or what will be called at Carleton, Engineering Research Center. So those other professors are Mohammed Atiyah, as many of you would know, whose expertise is on sensors, also localization, LiDAR positioning, as well as Professor Jay Gao, whose expertise pretty much overlaps with mine, except for he doesn't do much physical layer. Oh, Benoit is here. Hello, Benoit. We just started. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And then, one very important expertise of Professor Jay Gao is AI, as well as digital twins, which are two technologies getting increasingly important. The third person is Professor Chan Kong Lang, who is a leading expert in networking, also has rich expertise in industry as well. I hope I am not missing any names, but four of us will be submitting an application. And if everything goes fine, starting 2026, this will be an engineering research center with multiple faculty members. And I am defining new roles for the team members. Already I defined the role to Ethan that I will explain in a moment. Thank you, Ethan, for accepting that. And I also defined the role for Afsun, and thank you, Afsun. Afsun's role is she is the coordinator of this lab, and then will be the coordinator for the center. And I have a few other roles, but we will do the identification or kind of staffing at a later point. So this is an important change, not change, but a development. I have actually a lot to say on that, but that will be in the next meeting because I want to spend time for this meet and greet. Now, in this website, the most important bullet is publications. So let me just click on that and make sure that it is there. So I make an effort to keep this up to date on average once a week, and I just updated this morning. So this should be quite informative to many of you to know historically and statistically what is happening in the group, as well as the current work. For instance, from where we publish, by the way, as you know, we only publish in IEEE periodicals. I have a couple of older publications more than 15 years ago, but so how many of them? 5, 8. So out of 352 publications, these are only journal publications from our group and with our collaborators. Well, maybe 97% are in IEEE journals. And then there is a lot reasons why we are doing in that way. That is for another discussion. But one important thing is that transactions on wireless communications is the most frequent venue. And it tells actually that this is a wireless group. It is obviously not arbitrary. And then Access is an all-catch journal in many ways. When Access started, I forgot when, maybe 8 years ago or 10 years ago, many of my team members found it an easy venue to publish, mainly due to the fact that the review process is much quicker than other publications. And then there was an avalanche of publications, and then I decided that I should put a stop. Therefore, I put a moratorium in Access publications, except for in selected cases with our collaborators. If they insist, I might let it go. The reason is that and one of my jobs in our group is to protect our I wouldn't say dignity, but our reputation, okay? And in an elite group, it is very important that a good chunk of publications come and appear in high impact factor IEEE journals, first and foremost in transactions. Transactions publications are very important. Actually, this morning we had a discussion with Tawhidur Rahman, whom I will introduce in a moment. what type of study may be suitable for PhD. This is a little bit of a maybe philosophical discussion, but there is a short answer to that, not a thorough answer. The short answer is that if a work appears in a transactions or in a journal, then it is that is the PhD work, basically. Just a parenthetical remark. What is transaction and journal? These are kind of canonical venues in disciplines. So if the discipline is a standalone discipline like wireless communications or physical layers, there are transactions on wireless communications, transactions on communications, and so on. Some of them have higher impact factor than others, but don't worry about that. Again, we will have a whole other discussion at a later time about these bibliometrics, impact factor, and so on. One factor playing a factor in impact factor numbers is how big a discipline it is. For instance, information theory is a valuable discipline, but it is at the moment a small discipline. Therefore, only a small portion of the community is checking, looking, and find it relevant. Therefore, impact factor of that journal, Transactions on Information Theory, is rather low. It went down substantially over the years. I can't recall now precisely, but I would assume around 2.5, actually very low for IEEE transactions. And there are other reasons as well. The papers are more mathematical oriented and less accessible to many people. But my point is that we shouldn't overlook transactions of information theory because it is a low impact. As long as it is transaction, the way I think is it is good. So transactions on aerospace and electronic systems, well, there is a size for that community, and that is playing an impact on the journal's impact factor. But in NTN area, it is like the canonical venue. So it is very valuable to have a product in that venue, regardless of the impact factor. By the way, impact factor is already very high. Let us see, 5.7, for instance. Now, if the discipline is cross-disciplinary, like IoT, then there is no transaction, but it is called in IEEE jargon journal, IoT journal, sensors journal. Those are also very valuable venues. Anyhow, so let us go through this. Here in a reverse chronological order, you see our journal paper activities. There's a misplaced dot there. So first I start with submissions under review from our group and collaborators. There are 28 active papers under review. From the first authors, you can, well, at least those who are in Ottawa in my group at Carleton would know whether these are Carleton people or not. We have a very well-entrenched collaboration with Terbiye Mudarris University in Iran. And this paper, for instance, is through that collaboration. And many of you would know here, like Iran, we have also well-entrenched collaboration with Tampere University. Professor Sergei Andreev would be a familiar name to many of you. So this paper is from there as well. So actually, as you see, it just turns out that the first local paper is Meryem's paper under review, Meryem Salamat Mugadesi, and that's a transactions paper. We haven't received the first response yet, fairly recently transmitted. The next paper is again a Carleton paper, Mohammed Mahyub, an area that we try to nurture, and that is cybersecurity in non-terrestrial networks. So the list goes on and on. If you look at the earlier papers, let us say chronological, we have Benoit is here. We have a paper with Benoit. We submitted, oh my goodness, a year ago. Here we go. By the way, Benoit, you are here, right? Did we hear from?
Yes,
Am I missing
yes,
something?
I'm here.
Did we get the first response for this submission?
I don't think so.
Okay, so this is an alert for me. I should drop an email. We previously contacted, but I don't want to get into these dynamics. But you see a paper submitted literally more than a year ago. I even had forgot about that until this moment. We haven't received the first response to start with. Okay, so you see how tricky and tedious a journey that can be. And as many of you know, in IEEE venues, often in the first try, it will be a rejection. So Benoit left about a year ago, but he is still attached to Carleton due to these publication
Yes.
ties. So, and then we have a number of like 3 conference papers under review, but fall and spring are submission times for many of the conferences we do publish frequently. In the fall, there are the deadlines for VTC, Spring, WCNC, as well as ICC. And in spring, there are the deadlines for VTC, fall, PAMRC, and Globecom. So currently, well, we already have maybe 1 paper submitted to ICC, but there are 8 other papers are brewing. I am in touch with corresponding people. Cosmos is preparing a submission. Afsun is preparing a submission, and I don't know who else, but maybe more, but with other collaborators as well. Anyhow, then there are the refereed publications. So in 2025, as of now, we have 23 journal papers either accepted or published in an issue, and then some 25 conference papers. Again, for reputation purposes, I want to make sure that the number of journal papers every year is more than the number of conference papers. This kind of management, you don't worry, it's for me. One reason this happened this way this year is that PAMRC was in Istanbul a few months ago, and we had 10 papers in that conference that kind of changed the dynamics a little bit. But as you see, many papers in very valuable venues, communication surveys and tutorials. For instance, Bilal had a recently accepted paper. This is in IEEE library, the paper or the journal with the highest impact factor, 46.7. Actually, among there are in all disciplines only a couple of journals which have higher impact factor in medicine and in science, like some nature journals. So it is really a diamond product, if I may say. And then you see several transactions paper, one after another. Parisa is with us here. Parisa is a student that I am co-supervising remotely. Many of you even do not know Parisa, but we will again introduce ourselves. So if you have a look at this list once in a while, you will see our group's research activities. Therefore, I would assume that it will be kind of useful, especially the topics. So what is the recently accepted paper? By the way, this paper accepted recently, it is still not in an issue, but it was written maybe a year and a half ago. Anything right top there has a 2-year history. This is how it works in this business. So this paper is on resilient connectivity. The title doesn't say that, but it is NTN is the enabler, non-terrestrial networks. Parisa's work is on high altitude platform systems, but integrated sensing and communications, a new paradigm. I think Parisa is one of the lead researchers in the world exploring this idea. And then another paper with one of our important collaborators in Ankara Yıldırım Beyazıt University, another gold product transactions on communications on this area of faster than light wave signaling, so on and so forth. So I will just stop sharing this thing and let me see, and just continue with this introduction in a different way. Once again, I will go to my website. And here, our group has very well known, really world-leading expertise in magazine papers. Therefore, I opened a separate bullet there. Magazine papers are very suitable for the activities in our group because we pay special attention to visionary work, and this is the venue without too much technical detail. And again, from our group and with collaborators, we have 55 IEEE magazine papers. This is really a almost unprecedented number, and our group is very well positioned. I would like to nurture this further. Currently, for instance, Cosmos and Ilyas are working on a magazine paper. I see Marcel and David, they are working on a magazine paper. Afsun is always working on some magazine papers. So Afsun is a kind of a good case, good example in the sense that although she's a PhD student, like 6 magazine papers or yeah, 4 published already, 4 magazine papers published, actually 3 magazine papers, 2 on NTN and HAPS Alliance paper as well. So basically, if something is working good in the group, I would like to make sure that it continues like that. So this is a stream that we are doing very well. Parisa also recently ventured into this world by submitting her own magazine paper. Likewise, Zichao, and here is Benoit's paper still under review. So I'll just stop that and then just leave that discussion there. Now, going back to that page, I guess one final time, our research group, so it is this bullet, and it is, I guess, visible. Currently, we are 20 persons plus 2, I would say, and our nominal size has been around 25 people. Just a second. Erdemciğim. Yeah, I'm in a meeting. Can I call later? I'm not sure Erdemciğim. Tamam, selamlar. My son is traveling today, so he was asking whether I can give him a ride, but probably not. So, yes, we downsize from 25 to 20, and furthermore, some of those 20 people are not on campus because part-time students. They are equally valuable, but just naturally they are not on campus. So in a moment, I will let everyone introduce themselves, but here are the PhD students. The only PhD student which is not in Canada is Parisa. Actually, Parisa's case is a bit special. In Iranian system, there might be an advisor in addition to supervisor. To be precise, I am not her supervisor, but I am her advisor. And then the other 8 are at Carleton. Some of them have their co-supervisors. Mohammed Al-Kadamani, who is a full-timer at Communications Research Center. Afsun Alidadi, I somehow missed Shamsabadi. So Afsun is here. Yin Lee is a part-time PhD student, but she's in the bridge now. Zichao Zhang is a PhD student full-time, but he is currently in China, will be back soon. Diraj Bhattacharjee, a full-time PhD student. Maryam Salamat Mogadesi, a full-time PhD student. Jintao Liang, another full-time PhD student. And Ethan Fetes is a full-time PhD student. Then master students, let me say the full name, sorry. Ilyas Otaleb, Priyanna Rahman, Marcel Leclerc, David Liu, and Cosmos Muaba. Marcel, David, and Priyanna are part-time students. Therefore, you don't see them often, but they are with us today. And then we have a number of postdoctoral fellows and research associates. Pablo Madori is here with us. I'm not saying any or making any explanation because everyone will introduce himself or herself. Muhammed Mahyub is also a PDF, but he is on paternity leave for a few months. Therefore, he is not here today. Ali Nawaz Rancha is a PDF which is located in Montreal. He is a answer equivalent, which is FRQNT PDF. Is Ali here? Just I am looking at the bridge. He is not here. And then Rosita Shafi is a research associate, and also Nuha Hassan. Nuha, based on our agreement, as of yesterday, or today actually, appointed you as a research associate. Welcome, ahlan wa sahlan again to the group, and you will introduce yourself in a moment. Noha is located in Toronto. She will stay in Toronto. And as I am saying now, I pay even more attention to these remote working. We have a visiting PhD student who is really not any different than my own students, and that is no one other than Elham. But Elham, I guess, left. Oh, Elham is there. I thought that you just left to pick up your daughter, but very nice seeing you, Elham. And then we have two advisors. Many of you would know Muhammad Abu Ubaid, who is an adjunct research professor at Carleton, and he is our hardware person. Whenever I have any issue with hardware, he is my go-to person. And just earlier this week, I appointed Irem as an advisor. Irem will introduce herself in a moment if she is here. Oh, she actually said that she would be leaving. Oh, no, she's here. Okay,
No,
hello.
I'm here.
Yes. Irem is a newcomer. Irem is an answer postdoctoral fellow. She will introduce herself working with my very good friend, Professor Kaddoum, in ETS Montreal. In any event, Irem will be affiliated with our group as well. At the moment, the role I defined her is as an advisor. I need a lot of advice, you see, so lots of advisors and experienced people like Iram and Mohammed are very good for that purpose. And then we have a number of incoming students and students as well as visitors. Bahare is, I think, not here. Bahare is one of these students who got impacted from the visa issue. She was supposed to be with us last year, but every semester we have to postpone her admission one more semester. Bahare is coming from Qatar, but originally from Iran, so there is that complication. I am really hoping that she will be able to join us in person in January. And then we have two Kotutel students, and Yakubu and Tohidur. Tohidur is with us today. I'm not sure if Yakubu is here, maybe not. I hope Yakubu is doing well. He recently had some minor health issues. Both Yakubu and Tohidur already started their PhDs at IMT Atlantic in Brest, France, and they are in the process of being admitted to Carleton University. And the arrangement is that they will spend 2 years in Brest, France with IMT Atlantic, and the last 2 years of their work at Carleton University. So in order to engage them further, I will, again, one reason why we are making these meetings hybrid, but hopefully in a not too distant future, we will have both Tohidur and Yakubu at Carleton. And then we have Hassan Nasser, another student whose file is in process from Saudi Arabia. Is that correct? No, from Iraq, sorry. From Iraq, an Iraqi government-funded student. And then two basically visiting scholars. Samir is with us, Samir Ali, who will introduce himself. Hello, Samir. And Hira Inan. Hira is coming from...
Hello.
Hello, from Spain. Actually, Samir, we are expecting you very soon. Hopefully, you will get some paperwork finalized from Carleton. If there is any issue, just drop me an email. I will follow up on my end. And then there are
Sure.
other people whose joining Carleton is an ongoing discussion. For instance, Rawan Al-Ghamdi, a star researcher from KAUST, Saudi Arabia, one of the leading universities in the region. Rawan is applying for a very prestigious Saudi PDF scholarship that is called Ibn Khaldun Scholarship. And if I'm actually very hopeful that she will get it and she will be here next summer. Professor Ayşe Elif Canbilen is from Turkey. The plan is she will go to Tampere University with a Marie Curie Fund of Horizon Europe program, which allows another visitor within a visit to Canada, and many other persons. Different arrangements are in work for each of them. By the way, I also in this list former PDFs, former visitors. There is no group at Carleton University who hosted more visiting scholars than our group. We really distinguish ourselves and maybe one of the leading in Canada. And this list might be helpful for you in different ways. For instance, Telesat, no need to say, is a very important company for Canada. And their line of business is our research. So you might say, hey, are there any former team members in Telesat? Like someone is applying. Cosmos, I hope it doesn't happen. We want Cosmos to be a full-time student here, but let us say he wants to apply to Telesat. He wants to get some information. So one can write Telesat here. Let us see what will come up. So search. So Omid Abbasi, you know very well, a former PDF and visiting person. He is now working at Telesat. And then here there is Omid's LinkedIn. You can just go LinkedIn, drop a message to him, a tremendous resource. Another former PhD student, Hussein Hoshnevis, is there. Another PhD student, Tamir Beytelmal. Omid appears twice because he was a PDF and a student. And then a former PDF, Mohammed Aluzi, is with Telesat. So you see the dynamic. It is a very good resource for that purpose. I'll just stop sharing for a second again. But there is one other thing that I would like to highlight. And once again, I am keeping an eye on time because this is an important announcement. One of the things that I would like to reinvent ourselves in such a way is to bring in more AI ML expertise to the group. Now, we have been doing this inevitably anyway, whether we like it or not. This is a very important tool at the moment for anyone in actually any discipline in technology, but especially in the areas that what we do. Every student takes several courses, actually. And I'm very happy that Irem is joining us as an advisor. Her experience at Huawei for a decade, a good portion of that has been on AI-related technologies. Ismail is another expert in AI, one of our valued collaborators from Qatar. So I would like to take this to the next level. So we will have separate regular meetings on AI discussions, basically. And Ethan volunteered for this task. Ethan is a first-year PhD student. Actually, he has already taken courses in that area. Regularity is very important. You will receive an message from Ethan in this regard. Um, it doesn't have to be formal, but I just want to make sure that it is regular. We can have just discussions. People can update each other based on the recent things they discovered, a nice blog, a LinkedIn posting, whatever. So in addition, I know that pretty much all group members are already doing this for their own research. But no matter what we do, really, it is difficult to keep up in the AI side. So we will have these meetings as well. Actually, I will show you something super duper interesting. Now, once again, I will just share my screen. So you see my Google Scholar profile. And in this, there is these labels, as they call, self-identified labels. 5 of them are allowed. So I chose these. So I said that I am an expert, not expert, but I work in this area. So 5G, 6G, so on and so forth, as you see. And then if you click on these, you will see kind of the community. For instance, 5G, is it there in the link? Yeah. So yeah, you would know, for instance, Petar Popovsky, perhaps Professor Rangam from New York University. He is maybe on a little bit on other aspects of 5G, but anyhow, so I'm listed here as number 3, but really keep in mind that this is self-identified. There are tons and tons of 5G researchers who may choose not to label themselves as 5G. So don't, in a way, overread this. So it will be kind of a little bit like awkward if I say that I am the 3rd biggest 5G researcher in the world based on this self-identified labeling. Obviously, if the label is narrow, there will be fewer people in the area. If it is broader, there will be more people. So wireless communications is broad. It covers, well, pretty much A to Z everything. So I'm just clicking on that. And then, let us pay attention to researchers in our area in wireless, broad wireless, who have more than 100K citations. Remember, in industry and academia, there are thousands and thousands of researchers who work in wireless. Some of them more active, some are less active. But even 1,000 is a very underestimate. Huawei has thousands of wireless researchers with PhDs, perhaps, right? So I should say easily tens of thousands of people. And in this big group, only 4 has more than 100,000 citations. So this is really cream of the cream, if I may say. And you can imagine how difficult it would be to have this many citations. By the way, again, it is a big discussion. Don't overread these numbers as well. This is discipline specific and so on. This is what I am coming into. But just I am showing the dynamics. In some areas, it might be smaller. Therefore, there will be fewer such individuals. Now, you might say that, well, let us search this for, oh, by the way, I said 4, but Key Zhang, I just checked it before this meeting. If I just click on that, there is a disambiguation issue. Actually, these papers are not his papers. So there are lots of physics papers and so on. Zhang is a common name in, Chinese background. So basically, he's not in the list. Actually, there are only 3 people. So if I just go to like only wireless, let us check wireless, how many people there. 2 people. So 2 other people came, Rappaport and Robert Heath. There were 3 plus 2, 5. And let us check wireless networks. Yeah, here we go. From that domain, another person came. So like 6. Maybe we missed 1 or 2, 7, 8, less than 10. Keep that in mind. And then let us go back to the one which has wireless applications. Vince Poor. Vince Poor is arguably kind of the most senior when it comes to bibliometrics. Once again, don't overread into that, but I'm trying to make a point. So when it comes to bibliometrics, it turns out that Vince Poor is the most senior person. And then he is, of course, senior age-wise as well, easily in his 70s, still very active. From Princeton, he was the dean of engineering there as well. So as you see, he has 1,600 papers in total, which are captured by Google Scholar. By the way, actually, there might still be a disambiguation. Poor, there might be other authors with the same name, but still, you know, a mind-bogglingly high number of publications in his maybe 50-year career. And then his H-index is 200. That is, he has 200 papers, each with 200 or more citations. That is the H-index meaning. And his total citation is a bit less than 200,000. So in our community of tens of thousands of researchers, this is as good as it goes. Now, guess what I will do? I will write machine learning. And then suddenly million citation comes per Bangio, okay? And then, well, another almost million, Jeff Hinton, who got Nobel Prize last year, as you know. So just this is the first 10, then another 10, 20, just I'm continuing, 30, 40, more and more, 50. And actually, some of these people look quite young. Is this a, no, this is not a, doesn't seem. So still, I'm first 50, still 250 citations, 1,000. But this woman looks young. Look at that. A young woman who has only 53 papers. Remember, Vince Poor had 1,653. With her 50 papers, she has more citation than Vince Poor. Okay.
One of the most.
Oh yes, well, she's she's a co-author there. But just let me finish my, well, basically, I would. It is of course important, but the point is the audience is big. Vince Poor sum of papers, I wouldn't say they are less important. They may be bread and butter of digital and wireless communications. But so just let me finish the story. I'm still continuing. Continue. My goodness, when will this end? I'm just looking at the end of 100K. So one more, I guess it is coming to an end. You know, if I check tomorrow, these 99Ks would be already 100K. So basically, there are pretty much 250 people in that community, which has more than 100K citations.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have one more thing to add. Actually, in most of the cases, these are also conference type papers, not even transactions like Winston Poor's many papers probably are. So it's a different type of work as well.
Since the area is developing super fast, that is a domain where conference papers are also, not also, perhaps more valuable than journal papers, at least some conferences. By the way, I just searched for machine learning. I didn't check AI. I didn't do deep learning, whatever. Maybe the list is even bigger. So the point is not that we stop everything and we all become AI researchers. Actually, this I am not saying for any intimidation and so on. Everyone is aware of this situation and better bibliometrics are coming. Actually, domain specific or normalized with domain a very important thing that I will unpack at a later meeting, although we keep eye on these citations because everyone else are doing that, we don't do our research just for citation because there are many very high caliber research due to accessibility and so on reasons cannot have this type of citation. And I am very confident that in future there will be much better bibliometrics, normalized and so on and so forth, which will make justice. But the gist of the matter is that this has become an avalanche, which is actually unprecedented in the history of entire science knowledge. And since we are just going through that, how this will unfold, that is also not clear. Something is happening as we speak. The long story short is that given this importance, we whether we like it or not, really, there is no option. We have to integrate AI and all related matters, whether it is deep learning and so on, in our research. We will have more things to say, so on and so forth. But I just want to wrap up that discussion there before we move to the introduction. Anyone would like to say anything about what I said so far? Irem, any further comments? Or from here, the audience?
No, just to kind of support you in a way that it's because the area is developing so fast, there is not even a time to publish transactions, and that's very interesting. Another interesting thing I think on those type of conferences too, there is open review. So it might be also very intimidating sometimes if you're because the all of the reviews are available online and people can discuss on it as if on a Reddit thread about the papers. So it's good in the sense that there are open discussions, but it's also a little bit intimidating for the author. So like there are some different dynamics in that area as well. Just a
Wow.
little.
Actually, Irem, to be honest with you, I wasn't aware of this dynamic because I assume the conferences you are mentioning, at least I never published myself. These are like, can you give an example, for instance?
I'm not sure if AAAI has open review, probably. So there is an AAAI, for example. It's one of
Yes,
the
yes.
leading. I think, for example, that one should have
Oh,
some open review. There are
sure.
a few others.
Oh, anyhow, let us have this a discussion item for our weekly AI discussions, because as we move into that field more, by the way, not AI for AI. Here, our domain is wireless communications and network. What I am talking is integrating AI, ML, and all that sort of stuff to our own research. Okay? Very good. So maybe I'll just leave it there and let us start the introductions, 2 minutes per person. And, we will start from Carleton's side. The thing is that only there is my computer here. And so people will do a musical chair kind of thing. Everyone just come here and very quickly introduce himself. Actually, even here sitting is difficult, but let us give a try. Pablo, why don't you take the lead and then Nolan yourself and so on. I'll just sit here.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Pablo Madoeri, a postdoctoral fellow here under the supervision of Professor Halim. I have been helping the last few years in this consortium, Optical Satcom Consortium, where there is a team here of master students and PhD students that I have been helping to co-supervise, where we are tackling different research topics in satellite networks, applying optical links. So we have research about routing, about queuing and management, and queue management, routing aware to adverse weather conditions, and so on. And our last aim has been to apply AI to all of these topics. I'm also assistant professor in Argentina, where I am teaching computer science.
Thank you, Pablo. Very good in 2 minutes. Let's very quickly shift.
Hi, my name is Nolan. I'm an undergraduate student here at Carleton. I study computer systems engineering, and I'm also pursuing a minor in mathematics. My experience comes more of a communication software as well as cybersecurity in that domain. I have past experiences at Shopify and the CRA where I did a lot of work on building a particularly secure TCP. We kind of did a lot of certain APIs built on top of TCP to optimize our networks and made it more secure for merchants and customers at Shopify. Also, I'm sort of looking to kind of branch off into AI here, and that's why I'm pursuing the math minor. So the goal would kind of be to look for ways to apply AI into wireless communications. Yeah, love
Thank
to
you,
speak
Paul. Welcome to our group. Just as we are doing the switch, have a think Raj Nolan is in the process of applying to this iCurious program at Carleton. Some of you might be aware that will facilitate our work. Yes, Raj?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Dheeraj Bhattacharjee. I'm a final year PhD candidate in Professor Halim's group. And my thesis is based on routing in satellite networks. And currently, I'm working on a routing problem with admission control and queue management techniques in the satellite mega constellation, where I'm looking to implement reinforcement learning techniques to optimize those decisions. Yeah.
Thank you, Dheeraj. So, Ethan?
Hi, I'm Ethan. Most of my research is in satellite downlink scheduling in the presence of adverse weather conditions. Mostly work with Pablo. And yes, I'm running the AI seminar starting next week. Yeah, I'll send an email. Yeah, so yeah, I think.
Thank you, Ethan. And Maria?
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariam, a fifth-year PhD candidate in Professor Halim Group. My research mainly focuses on designing a sustainable and energy-efficient framework, integrating non-terrestrial network and terrestrial network, especially high-altitude platform station. Our main objective is to design a self-switching framework to dynamically switch off or on small base station to minimize network power consumption.
Thank you, Mariam. And then next, Afsun.
Okay, hello everyone. So my name is Afsun and I'm a final year PhD candidate under supervision of Professor Halim. I'm also a contract instructor with the department and I work on high altitude platform stations, integrating them with the terrestrial network and specifically the interference management techniques. In addition to that, I work also on an industry project with Honeywell on UAV trajectory planning and connectivity and these sorts of things. Thank you.
Thanks, Afsun. Ilyas? Lots of last year PhD students, next year the room will be empty.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Ilyas. I did my undergrad here at Carleton in computer systems engineering, and I recently graduated, and I'm starting my master's degree with Professor Halim and Professor Ati as a co-supervisor this past month. I will be working on how to use NTN to optimize positioning and navigation.
Thank you, Ilyas. And Jintao Liang is the next person.
All right, so hello everyone, I'm Jintao Leung. I'm not one of those last year PhD guys. This is my third year. I also did my undergrads here. Sorry.
Connection 3 years.
Hopefully. So I did my master with Professor Halim. Master is also on satellite. mainly on optical links, the link budget, all the stuff. And for my PhD, also on satellite, but with Pablo. I'm now working on software-defined networks, the segment routing, all the routing stuff. So yeah, good to see you.
Thank you. So let us have Cosmos next, and then we will have Hongqiao as the final person.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cosmos Moa, and I am a final year master's student under the supervision of Professor Halim, and I'm also being co-supervised by Professor Jay Gao. My research mostly focuses on non-terrestrial networks and AI, but my focus currently is on UAV, autonomous UAV trajectory planning. I'm also on the Honeywell project that Afsun mentioned. And yeah, I think that's.
Thank you, Cosmos. Last but not least from this side, Hongqiao. I should say Dr. Hongqiao Zheng.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hongzhao Zhen, a recent PhD graduate from Professor Halim's group. I have a co-supervisor, Professor Muhammad Atia, whose expertise is sensor fusion. My research topic has been on auto-localization in non-terrestrial network for urban environments. I've recently graduated. Now I'm shifting my attention to sensor-aided navigation, for example, using cameras for enhanced performance. Yeah, pretty much that's.
Thank you, Hongqiao. Once you are in the group, you never leave. Hongqiao defended his PhD not too long ago. He is in that sense an honorary alumnus. A couple of days ago, a Chinese friend invited me for dinner. The restaurant name might be familiar to some of you. The Peking Duck in downtown, my first time. That was very nice. And yesterday night, Hongqiao invited me. There is a LinkedIn posting about that. And I thought we will do another Chinese restaurant visit. He took us to Pita Bell, so some Turkish kebabs. So that was very nice. Thank you, Hongqiao. So let us move to Zoom. I know that it is getting very late, and a number of you have already left Elham and Irem. We are actually arranging a desk for Irem, so you will see her in the lab at least some days a week. So let me start the way I see you, actually. David and Tawhidur and then Noha. Let us go in that order. You can unmute yourself and do the introduction.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm David Liu. I'm a research engineer from the Communication Research Center. My experience was in millimeter wave propagation, but now I'm starting to dabble in NTN and spectrum demands.
Thank you, David. Mohammed Tawhidur Rahman.
Yes, thank you, Professor Halim. I'm Mohammad Tawhidur Rahman. I started my PhD program in IMT Atlantic 4 months ago. I am researching in distributed ORAN-based digital twin for non-terrestrial network under the Marie Curie seed program in France. And previously, I did my master's in Turkey, Yildiz Teknik University. My research field was vehicular communication, and I did my bachelor in Bangladesh. I'm from Bangladesh. Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Tohidur. Just a repeat, but good to mention again, Tohidur is being admitted to Carleton as a co-tutel PhD student. He will spend 2 years at Carleton. But he's already part of our group. One reason why I try to network people is to establish research bonds. There might be working together opportunities as we move forward. And Noha, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to join this meet and greet meeting. I just started my new position as a research associate at Carleton Lab, and I'm looking forward to collaboration with researchers from all over the world. My master's research was in the field of radar and remote sensing, and it seems that I'm exploring this area again. I've received my PhD in electrical and computer engineering from Toronto Metropolitan University in 2019, and then I did like 4 postdoctoral research appointments at the same university as well with various supervisors. And I did my research in technologies related to underground mine communication, especially in case of accidents. I did also research in user association and resource allocation for heterogeneous 5G networks. And also I did research in to improve or to reduce congestion and enhance decision-making in autonomous and intelligent transportation systems and reliable architectures for 5G and 6G networks. And also right now I'm starting to explore the AI systems, integrating AI into wireless communication. Currently also I'm a part-time postdoc at Toronto Metropolitan University. This will be until the end of December. I'm working on actual V2X data from the US Department of Transportation to secure vehicle safety and reduce highway traffic congestion in the city of Tampa and Wyoming. And I have around 18 publications in journals and conferences. I'm a professional engineer of Ontario. I'm a former faculty also at Ontario Tech University, and I taught like around 25 courses. Thank you, everyone, and I'm looking forward to future collaboration.
Once again, welcome, Noha. Your rich experience is a great asset. Together, we will explore new territories, and we should arrange for a visit to Carleton. You can come for a day and then make a seminar, and that will make the bonds even stronger.
Yeah, that will be my pleasure, Professor. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll do that.
Priyanna, next yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Priyanna. I'm a part-time master's student at Carleton, co-supervised by Professor Halim and Professor Chung Lung. I'm currently working at Ericsson Canada as a software developer, and I was previously at the Communications Research Center as a research engineer. And I'm hoping to do research in 6G non-terrestrial networks with more focus in AI and also spectrum utilization and management.
Thank you, Priyanna. By the way, we have a meeting with you and Professor Lang scheduled, or is it to be scheduled?
To be scheduled, hopefully for the following week.
Okay, so please drop an email and we will take it from there.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
And then in my screen, I guess now you see my screen, Samir and then Dr. Ismail.
Hello, everyone. This is Samir Ali. Originally, I am from Pakistan, but currently living in Spain as I am pursuing my PhD in Networks and Information Technology. I am also an incoming student to the Professor Halim's group and hopefully to joining soon. Just waiting for my visa. My research actually focuses on cybersecurity and network technologies, especially working on the beyond 5G networks under cyber attacks and resource allocation. So yeah, that's it, and hopefully to see you all soon sometime. My visa is in process and I'm waiting for a response from the immigration department. Thank you.
Samir, is there a date for at the website for possible date of visa issuing?
I have given my biometrics last week, so now waiting for their information. I don't have any information yet. Yeah.
That is good progress. I'm happy to hear that. Great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ismail, please, very happy to see you as well after a while.
Yeah, hi, Professor Halim and the whole team at Carleton University. Do you hear me clearly?
Yes, very
Yeah,
clear.
okay, thank you. Yeah, so it's a pleasure meeting you again. I think I met with many members of the team, Professor Halim, last summer before I traveled to Qatar. Currently I'm an assistant professor at the CCIT College of Computing and Information Technology at the University of Doha for Science and Technology in Qatar. So the university actually, it used to be a technical Canadian college called CNAQ, just to share some history. And 2 years ago, there was an Amiri kind of legislation to upgrade it to a technical university where to lead the students with the kind of applied kind of education with focus on hands-on testing, experimental learning. Maybe it's a kind of similar to the technical universities like in Canada and worldwide. I'm teaching two courses this term. The first two courses, one is in wired and one is wireless. So it gives me a chance to actually to get a lot of experience from both sides and address the maybe the differences and commonalities. Coming to the research, I see a lot of maybe shared areas in my research, let's say interests and the teams. So I am coming from most the network layer. So my PhD I finished in Carleton University in 2024 was my defense, and it was in resource allocation in virtualized sensor networks and Internet of Things. And a major part there was to come up with a resource-aware kind of objective function for a routing protocol called the Ripple, a routing protocol for low power and low say networks, to select and create a kind of adaptive routing with considering the resources available at the different sensor nodes. So before I leave, I was very interested in collaborating and joining the as part of the NTN lab, and hopefully at some point I'll be officially joining the lab to maybe transfer or move forward to the next step in kind of the research in transferring the knowledge into Earth space networks or satellite networks with focus on the kind of resource adaptive routing, which I see Pablo and many of the team they have mentioned. And in addition to that, I am integrating AI. So maybe also shedding some light in this area, and maybe to what Professor Halim has mentioned about AI. I think there are two areas where we can work in AI. So there is the pure AI research for people who are really working on that kind of AI and models. And there is the using the AI and integrated to whatever we are doing. So routing using the AI. So for example, in my PhD, I did the routing using heuristic algorithms, and I hit some kind of maximum, let's say, improvement that we can do. So coming from this kind of perspective with a heuristic and then coming with AI solution, then that is maybe a goal where I want to integrate AI coming from the network layer, expanding also the below to the data link and to the physical layer. So hopefully at some point, maybe we can come up with a nice collaboration. I started, for example, a research trend here parallel to the AI assisted routing in NTN. I call it dust aware communication. That is very suitable to the Qatar because they have a lot of dust storms here. So then in case if we can, for example, use some kind of sensors and then kind of, let's say, come up with a better communication whenever it's dusty, low dust, etc. I see this also maybe very related to what Baplo mentioned in kind of weather or environmental based. So this is more of I hopefully I'm opting to a lot of research and collaboration. From my side, I don't have a lot of hardware and equipment. So when I start any research, actually, I actually had some kind of IT or software development background. I worked in Cisco for 2 years as a software engineer. So I start with developing my kind of simulation with the peer programming, with the kind of using the AI itself to come up, take the idea from idea to a simulation, but definitely eventually collaborating with labs like NTN, it will help a lot to, for example, come up with those simulation parameters and put them under the realistic kind of situations, and then eventually maybe maybe hopefully we can combine both the software part and the integration. So pleased to see you again, and hope to a lot of collaboration forward.
Thank you, Ismail. I have a planned visit to Doha in first week of February. So looking forward
mashallah,
to
inshallah.
seeing you at that time.
Inshallah. Inshallah, we welcome you here, Professor Halim. It will be our pleasure.
So let me see. I guess Yin Li is next, another PhD student. Yin, are you there? You are on mute if you are. Yeah. I see you unmuted yourself, but we can't hear you, Yin. Maybe there is a mic issue on your end.
Oh, is it good now? Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, it is good now, Yin.
Good. So I've been working on key distribution and looking at applications to IoT devices. Thank you.
Yes, so basically key distribution in cybersecurity. Yin is also coming with very rich experience, industry consulting, patent matters. She has her own company. She is another part-time student. And in Yin's research, Professor Güneş Karabulut Kurt, as well as Professor Jason Joskolka from Carleton, they are involved due to the cybersecurity nature. And then Marcel, next to you. Oh, you are on mute, Marcel.
Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, hi, I'm Marcel Leclerc. I'm a part-time master's student in the group. I work at the Communications Research Center. My work there is mostly right now on interference tolerance and spectrum matters, and that's also my master's thesis topic.
Thank you, Marcel. We have, I guess, meeting next Wednesday, right, to discuss the spectrum NTN paper. Thank you. I guess the last person, last but not least, as they say, Benoit.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Hi again. It's been a long
Hello.
time. I'm now a first-year PhD student. I'm doing it with Juan Frere. I'm working with a company which is Kineis in France that is specialized on satellite-based IoT. So yes, I was working previously on opticals in apps and LEO constellations when I was at Carleton University.
Thank you, Benoit. I'm happy that your PhD started and going very well.
Yes, thanks.
Benoit was a visiting scholar here, I guess last summer. Do I remember correctly? Pretty much. Yes, last summer. And then interestingly, Benoit and I were invited to Saudi Arabia to a conference. So we met in November 2024 in Riyadh. That was a very pleasant occasion. Among the people who left very quickly, İlham Yunusyan is a final year PhD student as well with Brno University of Technology in Czech Republic. İlham visited us a number of maybe 2 years ago for a summer, and then she made a comeback. She is with us for more than a year now, but she is located in Toronto. She travels to Ottawa when there is an event here or workshop and that sort. İlham is also working on satellite mega constellations from resilience and fault viewpoint. And İrem is a former PhD student at Carleton. She did her PhD in part as a part-time student at Huawei. And after working 10 years at Huawei, she recently resigned, and she has an ambition to become a professor. So she accepted or she applied and won an answer PDF. As I said, she cannot be a PDF at Carleton according to answer rules because she had her PhD from here. Therefore, she is doing that at ETS in Montreal with Professor Kadum. But informally, somehow I am involved as well, and we are looking forward to some very good work. Now, one final point before I leave. Many people here in the room and over Zoom are targeting academic positions. Noha is an example. Tawhid would like to become a professor, and maybe some other people here. And well, Pablo is a professor already. Ismail is a professor. Afsun would like to become a professor, and many other people perhaps. So at some point, Afsun, an action item, not immediate, but in the coming months, to restart that path to academia kind of discussions, maybe a little bit different. That will be very helpful for all of us. Yes.
Not sure if Parisa.
Oh, she didn't. Parisa, my sincere apologies. Thank you, Pablo. Would you like to unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to the professors and colleagues in the room, and good evening to those joining remotely, including myself here in Isfahan, Iran. I stand before you today representing Iran, the cradle of civilization, the fountainhead of art, and a land of resilience. With deep gratitude to this heritage, I am Parisa Kanani, a PhD candidate at Isfahan University of Technology. I would like to acknowledge my academic advisors, Professor Omidi and Professor Modares. I want to extend a very special thank you to Professor Halim for his invaluable collaboration on our recent research project, as well as for making it for attend this valuable session. My work is focused on the 6G non-terrestrial network and the design of artificial intelligence native architecture. I have several papers on crucial topics like HAPS, ISAC, ISAC is integrated sensing and communication, and advanced optimization framework that are either published or currently under submission. Currently, I am finalizing a strategic research roadmap with operational goals through 2026 and a strategic vision for 2030, which I will be formally sharing with my professor soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Parisa. Parisa's thesis is also ready, as I understand. I received, Parisa, the copy you sent a couple of days ago, but didn't have an opportunity to look at it. I think maybe in December. Is there a defense date, Parisa?
Yes.
When is the defense?
I think this is 2 months later.
Okay. Well, I won't be able to attend because it will be in Persian. Nevertheless, following the process very closely. Just a note, Parisa's PhD main supervisor, Professor Mohammed Javad Omidi, is a friend for me it's unbelievable. For over 30 years, we did our PhDs together at the University of Toronto and stayed in touch since then. And one big advantage of that was I received many highly talented researchers from Isfahan University of Technology over the years, most recent Parisa. Before that, it was Rosita Shafi, who is a research associate in the group but couldn't join today. And Afsun, you have Isfahan background? Oh, bachelor's is from Isfahan. That is great. Mariam, any Isfahan connection? No? Okay. So the Isfahan University of Technology is one of the major research intensive universities in Iran. So it is for right timing. Let us leave it there. I am wishing a great long weekend for those of us in Canada, and all the very best for everyone. From now on, maybe I will make these meetings purely virtual. It might be easier for everyone. Stay tuned for Professor Eaton's message on AI seminars, and we will take it from there. Bye now.